The electric car revolution was supposed to be unstoppable, a clean tech juggernaut leaving gasoline-powered vehicles in the dust. But wait a minute, there's a glitch in the matrix. EV sales are slowing down faster than a Tesla running out of juice uphill. So, what's going on? Let's take a closer look at the factors crippling EV sales. And it's not just about the environment anymore. It's about practicality, affordability, and the question everyone's asking: are electric vehicles ready for prime time? So tune in and subscribe to the channel first. Here's the real scoop on why EV sales are veering off track. And there's not just one reason, there are 6. Number 6. Market overload. New EVs are sitting idle, gathering dust on dealer lots. Dealerships are feeling the pinch and are not exactly thrilled with the sluggish sales either. Can you blame them? From a business perspective, it makes perfect sense. With the current inventory surplus stretching well beyond 100 days, way above the industry norm, it's no wonder they're not jumping at the chance to move these vehicles. But why the surplus? Well, let's dive in. Last year, the supply chain crisis finally let up, giving car manufacturers the green light to ramp up production. Riding on the wave of growth seen over the past few years, which topped a staggering 90% year-over-year, production surged. Believe it or not, supply shot up by over 500%. However, while supply soared, growth hit the brakes, slowing down simultaneously. This imbalance has sent shockwaves through the EV market, leaving dealerships with more cars than they can handle. Dealers are feeling the squeeze because demand is not keeping pace with the influx of new EVs. It's a classic case of too much supply and not enough demand. Number 5. Range and charging anxiety. Many folks are hesitant to jump on the EV bandwagon fully because of the challenge posed by range and charging. Sure, EVs have come a long way, boasting ranges of over 300 miles on a single charge these days. But that's still not enough for those long road trips unless you're cool with making frequent stops at charging stations. We found that dealing with EV batteries can be a bit unpredictable. Cold weather can seriously zap a vehicle's range, while heavy-duty activities like towing or off-roading can drain that battery quicker than expected. So, while all electric pickups sound cool, they might not be taking over the market just yet. Then there's the whole charging anxiety thing. Many areas still don't have enough public charging stations, making it a hassle for potential EV buyers. And even if you're lucky enough to have a charging station nearby, home charging isn't always an option for everyone. Plus, hearing about non-functional chargers, even in EV-friendly spots like the Bay Area, where 1 in 5 attempts failed last year, doesn't exactly help ease the nerves. Number 4. Pricing issues. As much as EVs are making affordable strides, they're still not hitting the sweet spot for the average consumer. In the past year, the average price of a new EV hovered between $50,000 and $60,000, a drop from the previous year's average of $65,000. However, that's still a tad higher than the average price tag of gas-powered cars, around $48,000. The lack of affordable EV options remains a major roadblock. Only a handful of EVs fall under the $30,000 mark, with a few more in the $30,000 to $40,000 range. The rest? They come with a hefty price tag, limiting choices for mainstream buyers. Given this pricing landscape and the fact that hybrids are notably cheaper, averaging around $40,000, it's no wonder they're gaining traction over EVs in growth. They've become the preferred choice for eco-conscious consumers, offering affordability without the range anxiety and charging woes associated with EVs. But the sticker price isn't the only thing to consider. The true cost of owning an EV extends beyond the dealership. Insurance for EVs tends to be higher compared to their gas-powered counterparts. Now, before we discuss more EV issues, please do us a favor and subscribe to our channel. Number 3. Repair costs. According to a report by Consumer Reports, EVs are actually 80% less reliable than gas-powered cars. Software glitches, battery woes, charging failures, and shoddy assembly are just some of the headaches that have people thinking twice about jumping on the EV bandwagon. Take the new Chevy Blazer EV, for example. It had so many issues that GM had to halt sales until they sorted things out. See, it's not just about reliability. There's also the matter of maintenance costs. Sure, EVs should theoretically be cheaper to maintain, right? Well, not so fast. Their heavier weight means you'll be shelling out more for tire replacements. And even though they've got regenerative braking, those brakes still wear out faster. Number 2. Resale value. EVs tend to lose their value faster than gas or hybrid cars. Data tells us that over 5 years, EVs can lose nearly 50% of their value, compared to the industry average of around 38.8% for all cars and about 37% for gas-powered ones. Among EVs, only a handful manage to hold onto their value well. Take the Tesla Model 3, for example. While it's an exception with a 5-year depreciation rate of 43%, that's still higher than its gas-powered competitors. However, other popular EVs, like the Nissan Leaf or Chevy Bolt, can lose over 50% of their value in just 5 years. Luxury EVs, on the other hand, take an even bigger hit. The Porsche Taycan, for instance, can lose over $100,000 in value in just 4 years. Compare that to a Porsche 911, which loses less than 15% over the same period. Number 1. EVs still have room. While electric vehicles have come a long way, there's still some ground to cover before they can compete with traditional gas cars. Sure, they've got some impressive power and zip, but let's talk business here. Higher price tags, limited range, and the lifestyle adjustments they require are still major speed bumps for many people. Let's start with the elephant in the room, home charging. It's a luxury that not everyone can afford, and the thought of spending extra time hanging out at charging stations. Yeah, that's a hard pass for many. A recent survey by the Boston Consulting Group shed some light on the situation. Only about 40% of people are even considering buying an EV. And when they do, they've got some pretty sky-high expectations. A $50,000 ride with a range of 350 miles and a charging time of just 20 minutes. Sounds dreamy. Currently, only the Hyundai Ioniq 6 SC checks all those boxes. So, do you think the EV market will crash anytime soon? Jot down your thoughts and subscribe for more.